Yes, the acceptance that no one is crazy. We have to stop looking at the financial decisions of other people and thinking they're fundamentally stupid or irrational.
because they make sense to them.
They make perfect sense within their own context. When someone makes a choice that seems completely wrong to you, they are, in fact, justifying it by taking the information available to them and plugging it into their own unique mental model of how the world works.
And that model is defined entirely by their life experiences.
Completely.
That is such a necessary shift because it moves us away from judging right and wrong and toward understanding context and background.
Hmm.
We absolutely need that empathetic lens before we can analyze the actual mechanics of behavior.
I do.
So let's dive deeper into that subjectivity because the academic world, you know, it loves to pretend that finance should be this cold, objective, mathematical thing.
Like physics.
Right. But our sources argue that finance is deeply, deeply personal. If you and I were handed the exact same spreadsheet of market data with identical potential investments, we could look at the same risk level and make two wildly different decisions. Why is that?
It's the subjective influence of personal history. Money management is not a hard science. It's a soft science, and it's deeply shaped by what economic environments we grew up in. That fundamentally anchors our perception of risk tolerance and opportunity.
Can you give us an example? How does that generational context matter so profoundly?
Sure. Let's look at inflation. Our sources point out that people who grew up during periods of high inflation, say in the 1970s, they tend to invest far less in conservative assets like bonds, even today.
Compared to people who grew up with low inflation.
Exactly, compared to those who experienced low inflation their entire lives. And the reason is,
Hmm.
well, the memory of watching your purchasing power just dissolve because of runaway prices acts as a permanent emotional scar on your financial model.
So they see cash and bonds as inherently risky.
Inherently unstable, yes.
And the challenge is, you can read every book on monetary policy, but you can't truly feel that fear, can you?
You can't. No amount of studying or open-mindedness can genuinely recreate the gut-wrenching power of fear and uncertainty from past economic events. I mean, if you lived through the Great Depression or persistent hyperinflation,
Or even just 2008.
or even 2008, if you were laid off then and you lost half your retirement, that experience isn't just a data point on a chart, it's an emotional anchor. Your perceived level of risk isn't rationally calculated based on current Fed data. It's reasonably weighted based on your history of pain.
Let's pull out an example that seems, on the surface, purely irrational. The lottery ticket.
Yes.
From a cold mathematical standpoint, spending money on lottery tickets, especially for those who can least afford it, is a terrible decision. The expected return is massively negative. Why would any rational person do this?
This is where that no one is crazy principle provides so much clarity.